What is up, y'all? My name is Nick Robinson. Welcome to the Yara Effect. Today we're going to get right into this reunion. First part of the reunion for Married to Medicine. Okay, so the girls came right on out. I saw the response to what Phaedra had to say. Phaedra said a lot. I feel like everything that Phaedra said in that going away clip was everything she was feeling at the same time that she was there with the ladies. She just didn't let that show while she was with them. She never really did care for them. I feel like Phaedra used Married to Medicine as a stepping stone to get where she wanted to be. And she just didn't care about being there once she got the green light that her peach was coming back. You know what I mean? Like, she was probably on the phone or talking to whomever she needed to get off the show, because think about it. Candy had said a long time ago, if Phaedra come back, y'all losing me. Candy left on her own accord because she really just didn't have time for the show anymore. She used Real Housewives of Atlanta to kind of launch whatever business venture that she was going into anyway, and she got so busy that she couldn't really keep up with it, and I think she was just tired. She had been there since season 2, so Candy left. Once Candy was gone, okay, Phaedra was on the line like, hey, let me back on, because that's what she liked to do. That's what Phaedra started her TV, career, or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like the whole time she was on Married to Medicine, she was trying to make her way off and back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're going to see her appear in Real Housewives of Atlanta at some point during the season towards the end, is what the ladies were saying when they were on press tour. So anyway, she said those ladies was fat. She said they was funny looking. She said it was haters. She said they are bees like that, the mean black women. She just went off. She called them demons, from hell. She just went in on the ladies. And I was like, well, dang, it was a really, different take, because like I said, they cut out a lot of things when they put these shows together. I don't know exactly what the ladies did to her for her to go into that degree. I know she said she didn't feel supported by the ladies when Shireen was going in on her, and they said they cut all that out because Shireen went in on Phaedra real bad. But of course, we didn't get to see that. So she told Dr. Jackie before she left the Key West trip, I didn't feel supported. Y'all, didn't have my back. And I think one of the reasons why there was no support, or she felt like they wasn't close, is because she never opened up to them. Like it or not, when you're in relationship with somebody, friendship, whatever, you have to build towards somebody feeling that type of loyalty to you, to step into your personal business like that and defend you. Phaedra had not established that with the ladies on Married to Medicine, because it was never her intention to stay there. It was never her intention to really grow there. It was a stepping stone between where she was and where she wanted to be. So you can't have it both ways. You can't not connect to the ladies and then expect them to defend you or stand up to you, especially, or stand up for you rather, especially when, we see where it seems that Phaedra tried to play the, oh, Heavenly did this card, when we see Heavenly asking her about Apollo coming. And even they cut some of that out. You know what I mean? But she didn't say, Heavenly, don't have my ex-husband coming here. I don't want him here, blah, blah, blah. She never said that. So she was like acting like she didn't care. It didn't bother her. Again, if she felt some kind of way about Apollo coming, she should have said that, in my opinion. She could have been like, you know what, girl, I don't even build with Apollo when we have things for our children. Leave him where he at. She could have said that, but she just, so didn't want anybody in her business or what have you. But you on a reality TV show, okay? So you can't expect for nobody to know nothing about your business. And I think with the ladies, it was kind of like when everything was happening on the beach, I think they might have been taken aback and shocked by some of the things that Shireen was saying, whatever it was that she was saying. And they didn't know what to say. And like Dr. Jackie told her, she said, that's your personal business. I didn't feel like I could say anything, and I'm pretty sure that's how all the ladies felt. So not taking up for what happened per se, because Dr. Heavenly did tell Phaedra that he was coming. What she did not know is that Apollo was going to bring Shireen, because apparently Apollo had heard about her and Sheik. So Apollo put a fast one over on Phaedra. That's who really pissed her off. And, she just feels like, well, if y'all hadn't told him, or if Heavenly hadn't told him what was going on and what was going to be at, then Apollo wouldn't have been able to make the move that he made. So as it turns out, like we saw, Sheik knows Apollo and Shireen and all this stuff right here. It was rumored that, allegedly he had dated Shireen's sister, so they know him very well. And that Phaedra knew that Apollo and Sheik were friends. So, child, I feel like Phaedra got her hand caught in a cookie jar. It's never been a time on, Real Housewives of Atlanta that we see her with her hand in the cookie jar to this effect. Like, okay, you tried to pull one and it just backfired on you, and it's making you look like, okay, how you don't want to look. Phaedra is very big on appearances, and in that moment, she wasn't able to control the way she looked, and it pissed her off. I mean, that's just my take on it. I don't know what y'all think. Let me know. She really went in on them ladies, and I don't feel like it was deserved. Maybe that's just me, but this is what you see a lot of times when people don't really take accountability for how they contributed to the situation. I mean, Phaedra got to own that she knew Apollo was coming, because when she was talking to Dr. Jackie, she acted as if, like she said, oh, Dr. Heavenly is the devil's daughter. And then when Dr. Jackie was like, oh, well, I thought that you knew Apollo was coming because Heavenly told us, blah, blah, blah. Phaedra didn't even say nothing. She was looking like, oh, she know. You know what I'm saying? So I can't play that card. So once Phaedra couldn't play how she wanted to play, she was good. She had already got her green light for her peach. I'm pretty sure she already knew that peach was in hand before she walked off of Married to Medicine like she did, and then did not show up for the reunion to, face anything. Speaking of that, we're done with Phaedra. Phaedra's out of there. She's going to be on Married to Medicine. I mean, she's going to be off of Married to Medicine on to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's go. So, as far as the ladies, talking about Napa and everything, Quad has a point. I mean, she is not wrong when she says they was hot at her. They was hot. And, I know in my last video, I was saying how, it was Toya's trip, and she looked shocked when Dr. Simone said, we're going to ask you to leave, and the ladies confirmed that they did not know it was going to go like that. Dr. Simone said at the time she didn't even know she was going to say that. She said she was just, in her feelings, I guess, and was just in the moment, and she said what she said. At the same time, to Quad's point, nobody was like, wait a minute, that's a little far, that let's not kick her off the island. Nobody, because everybody had a problem with Quad. Everybody felt like Quad was just like not engaged with the group. And the way this show works, according to what the ladies have all said numerous of times, they are actually friends outside of the camera. They not just film friends. They supposed to be friends in real life. It came up that Quad had not told them about King. And I mean, to her point again, she's not wrong in saying we wasn't even talking. So I don't owe you my business. And let me say this. At any time in your life, just because you're friends with somebody does not mean you owe them your business. Whatever you want to tell somebody about your personal business, you don't have to feel obligated to tell somebody what's going on with every piece of your life. Because I'm pretty sure nobody does that. Like, please, no one does that for real. So I don't know what it is with Dr. Simone. She always feels like she wants to know every piece of everybody's business, especially Quad's. Because even when she was going through her divorce with Dr. G, Quad just wasn't ready to talk about it yet. And Simone was acting as if Quad couldn't come around unless she was ready to talk about it. Just like when she was on Quad about having a baby. She didn't want to hear nothing except Quad saying, okay, I'll have a baby. It's like, I don't know why Dr. Simone seems to have that type of energy. Like, if you're not saying what she feel like you should be saying or doing what she feels like you should be doing, then she gonna fight with you. Okay. So, and that's just, I guess that's just the way she is. Okay. So, and I must admit that thus far she has not yelled yet. Andy hasn't had to like put in an earplug or anything thus far in the reunion. So I guess kudos to her for that. I'm noticing the body language of Letitia every time Quad says something. It's so funny because she's acting just like Dr. G when Quad talks. Anytime Quad says something, anytime Quad talks, her body language is and rolling her eyes. A lot of times she's looking down. The body language is speaking, whether she is or not. The body language is speaking, and I feel like a lot of the things that Letitia is saying pertaining to Quad is projection, meaning that it's really how she feels, the jealousy, the watching everything that she do. Like, ain't nobody watching you like that, mom. Like, I don't feel like any of the ladies on that cast are watching you like that, at least of all Quad. She too busy. I mean, like, she got a lot going on, as we can see, and I'm pretty sure that what we see on Instagram ain't even everything. So I mean, I doubt very seriously that she is watching you to try to have a moment of her own. Like, girl, please. All these ladies, let me just say this, all these ladies have been on the screen for 11 years, 11 seasons. You know what I'm saying? You've been on since season 10. I will give you that. But for her to try to imply that Toya needed her for a storyline, to say that Quad needed her for a storyline, like, what they didn't know was that Quad had a storyline. She just popped him out when she felt like it was time. And that's what I want to say. Kudos to Miss Quad, because, honey, she kept it cuter than a lot of us would have been able to. Honey, that she was facing her ex-husband coming onto the show behind her back with his new wife. And, baby, she went home every night to her man that comforted her and was there for her and was there with her. And for a whole year and plus, these ladies didn't even know. They didn't even know. I don't know that the production knew. I'm pretty sure they did not. She played her cards very well. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to give it up for her that she kept it cuter than a lot of us would have, because a lot of us would have lost we would have lost it completely. I know I probably would have. Like, what? Y'all bringing my ex-husband on here? Him alone is enough. You know what I'm saying? But then, you want to feature his wedding on the show and everything, and didn't even tell me, like, okay, I probably would have been knocking stuff over. But, she handled it way better than I'm pretty sure they thought she would. Just like she was saying when they was in Napa, they really came at her, all at one time came at her. You know what I'm saying? And she handles it better than, I probably would have, especially in the moment, because, again, this is unscripted. This is happening in the moment. You don't know what you about to walk into in these scenes. So, you got to give it to her. Like a hater, whatever, you got to give it to her. And then I wanted Letitia to expound on this allegedly comment with the Rolls Royce and all of this right here. Like, there is people out here saying that, oh, the Rolls Royce is fake, or, oh, it's stolen, or whatever. I don't know. Is Letitia listening to that, or is she looking at what's happening in real life? Because from what I see and from what I know, the girl still got the Rolls Royce. So I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, Tisha informed us of her displeasure with Toya, saying that Toya wanted Quad and her to get into it because at the time she was angry with Quad, and they really wanted her to, have a problem with Quad. Seems like they set her up to try to do their dirty work, or whatever the case may be. I mean, even if that were true, right? Let's say it's true. You was down for it. You was down for it. Don't act like, you just, came in and was like, oh my God, they were doing this. Like, no, you were down for it. You was gung-ho. You was there talking about, how you went in the DMs and talking about access to the money and, talking about you. At some points, you couldn't even say Quad name. You had to say Gregory's ex because you were so bothered by this woman. I mean, you went up and lived in the house that they lived in together. I mean, like, girl, don't act, okay? I ain't excusing the ladies if that's what they did, because I think that's foul. I think that, for some reason, it seems that they want to see Quad suffer, because Quad always seems to finagle herself out of where they think she should be. I think that they felt like, okay, Quad getting divorced from Gregory, so her lifestyle is going to shift dramatically. And it did. It went up. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like they thought, oh, well, now Greg is getting married to another woman and he's on the show, and that's really going to knock her out. And it didn't. She just came back stronger with her own life. I mean, like, so at this point, I hope that they just stop trying to take her down, if you will. I don't know. For some reason, they feel like Quad put herself on a higher pedestal. Dr. Simone said that a long time ago, a few seasons back. And I think that's just Dr. Simone's insecurity speaking, because if somebody got it going on, they just got it going on. Why are you mad at it? You see what I'm saying? Why are you mad at it? She's not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? You know, she don't have to be a doctor to live the life that she's living. I mean, they are like that's the only way somebody can be successful. Maybe that's their world, speaking, but there's a lot of people out here that are successful, have money, have more money than them, and they're not doctors. So, I think that's a little bit presumptuous. I think that, they can let that go. And I hope moving forward, if the show continues, because we just don't know. I mean, it's just been so crazy. We don't know if they're going to go on pause. We don't know if they're going to, revamp. We don't know what's going to happen. We just have to wait and see. But if they continue with the same cast, with the same ladies, I hope that this whole trying to put Quad in her place, trying to, I don't know, reduce her or bring her down some levels, stops, because it's not going to work. Obviously, it hasn't worked this whole time. Move on. Basically, it's kind of like if you can't beat them, join them, because they can't beat her. They can't. They tried to beat this girl down, and honestly, her being a part of this group, the things that she went through in this group, she went through the most, period. And Dr. Heavenly said that. That's what I see. You know what I mean? Letitia is the one that's jealous. I'm so sorry to say it. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Because she the one that bringing up King in conversations when she don't have no reason to be bringing him up. That's a problem in my opinion, that she's even talking on him and speaking on him. But whatever. Dr. Simone is saying that, Quad gave them her ass a kiss. She brings that up on the couch. And Quad was like, no, I did not. I mean, like, at the end of the day, Quad got a life outside of them. And I think that may be a little bit of an issue as well with them, because they're not her only set of friends. You see what I'm saying? She has another friend group that's some of the ladies in Atlanta that's on, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love Hip Hop Atlanta. So she's just, she's not stagnant. She's moving, she's shaking, she's out of the country with a man. She's at birthday parties with her friends. She has an exciting life, and I think that they feel like they're not a part of that, and so it may be a little bit of jealousy, especially from Dr. Simone. I just feel like there's a little bit of insecurity there. What else? Child, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa. All right. So they're talking. They really haven't moved past anything, as we can see. They're still on the same thing. And the fact that Dr. Contessa won't even talk about what she said to Dr. Heavenly about her marriage. I mean, Dr. Heavenly gave an opinion. Did she think Dr. Scott was abusive? She said yes. But you gonna sit there and say all these things about Dr. Damon, saying that, he impregnated a woman that he has mixed babies with. The children got the last name Kimes. I mean, like, you ran down the list and then continued on the reunion saying that the Atlanta streets are talking about her husband. Like, and then gonna say you can't get mad at me for what the Atlanta streets are saying, but you bringing it to the forefront. Like, okay, you ain't taking no responsibility for what you have said and done in this friendship at all, Dr. Contessa. I think, she may feel like she on some get back, so she feel justified in what she's saying, but that don't make it right. When you start talking about people's marriages, and that's why you have to just leave some stuff where it's at. When you start talking about somebody's husband, somebody's marriage, you are treading on some very thin ice, because one thing about it, I don't play about my marriage. I don't play about my husband. I'm ready to go to war about my husband and my kids. Dr. Contessa talked about both. Said she has to buy her kids. They don't love her. Said her and her husband in different rooms. Like, what in the world? You said all of these things and you won't take no responsibility or accountability. You won't even acknowledge it. Girl, okay. Please. And you ready to fight her for what she said, which was wrong. I don't agree with the whole mama thing, especially when the mama's deceased, like Quad said. I mean, like, it's just wrong. And but like Toya made a point, y'all have both said things. Y'all need to stop and just move on. But I don't think that at this point they can even agree to disagree. I think they just need to be cordial, not say too much to each other, and move on. Because if they both gonna be here on this cast, they can't go too deep. They just have to be around each other and not say nothing to each other too much. And that's how it's gonna have to be. Because baby, it's past the point of friendship. I mean, Dr. Heavenly already said that she'll never be friends with her again like she was. Dr. Contessa have gone deep with what she have said and have made it a point on the reunion to talk about. And Dr. Heavenly Poe thing, she's sitting there about to cry. Who wouldn't? If you sitting there hearing the other ladies on the cast reveal that they've heard things about your husband, and I mean, I just wish that somebody had told Dr. Heavenly, like, off camera, if they was really her friend, like, okay, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know, what's going on, but this is what somebody came and said to me. And I'm talking about Dr. Simone right now, because she said that a woman came up to her and said that she knew Dr. Damon and that Dr. Damon asked for her phone number. I mean, child, this is terrible. This is awful. And it now explains why perhaps Dr. G was like hesitant to say anything about whether he thought Dr. Damon was a cheater or not, because apparently it's going around and it's like, oh my God, I hope it's just rumors, because who want to hear that their husband is cheating? You know what I mean? It's never a good way to find out that your husband's cheating. Never. I have a terrible story about my first husband, how I found out he was cheating, that I'll get into later. But I mean, to find out that your friends have heard things about your husband on national television is, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. So, pretty much have run down everything, Quad and trying to get pregnant, and Dr. Jackie, helping her with that. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. Again, I believe that Quad and King are already married. She's just gonna pop out and tell them one day and then have a ceremony. Because I don't see her just having a boyfriend that she's trying to get pregnant with. Not the way she's strategically lived her life and how she's made moves in the past. I just, I'm gonna keep saying it until we see otherwise. Basically, I feel like that's her husband already, because I don't see her getting pregnant for a man that's just her boyfriend. I don't see it. You know what I mean? People have gotten married in shorter time than they've been together. At this point in real life, they've been together at least 2 years almost. So, I mean, hey, I think they legally have sealed the deal. And they are working on expanding their family. He does have a 9-year-old, probably 10-year-old by now, daughter. And yeah, so I think it's great. I hope they be happy. I hope, they get everything they want, because why not? Why not? I mean, I don't understand hating on people. I don't know any of the ladies personally at all. But I'm happy for anybody who's in love, happy, expanding their family, doing the things that they're doing. I'm happy for anybody that's happy. So congratulations in advance. I hope they get the baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, where is Dr. G and Letitia on their baby journey? Again, I'm asking for it. Like, where is it? I think she's too busy focusing on other things that ain't got nothing to do with her. You know what I mean? Like, why you even making comments about Quad Man? I think maybe you feel like because she has comments to say about Dr. G, because I caught when, Quad said these men ain't no different. They just get a different woman. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't wrong. I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I think that there are people who fit better together for sure. But when you have certain traits, it's just not going to work with anybody. Going back to when Dr. G was talking to Letitia the way he was a few episodes ago, that's not going to work for anybody. I mean, and if it worked for you to be talked to like that by your husband, then okay, that's that. Okay, have at it. But at the end of the day, it's just a lot going on still. I'm eager to see the next two, episodes in the reunion to see how everything unfolds. And then, of course, having our eye out on the IG and everything else that the ladies got going on. That's all I got right now, y'all. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good things. I appreciate you, love you, and I'll see you in the next one.